A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. This is the continuation, the part 2 of the previous part that I started, where the masculine is requesting the feminine to stop, to not go, and come back to him and requesting her to accept him back in case that is the scenario. Now, what is happening over here is in the part 1, I had shared that it could be very much possible that the masculine and the feminine, what is the energy? The energy is that feminine has 50% figured out the twin flame journey. 50% figuring out the twin flame journey is a big deal. 50% also. Because by the time 50% is done, the root chakra related issues are getting solved. She's getting more, stable in her being, which is connected to sacral chakra. Then confidence level grows, self-respect grows. She starts figuring out that it's not about marrying a soulmate or a love interest. It's more about marrying the man who is worthy of her, marrying or whatever. Once a commitment is made, once that love is established, then there is no other commitment that is needed, right? But from the worldly point of view, people say marriage, engagement, these things are important for some people, which is okay, which is not bad also. But the point is that there should not be any hurry for it. It should not be created like as if a very big thing, a Mount Everest sort of a thing. Because it happens to most people. Most people get married. It's not like something new. Most people have children. The most important thing to remember is that most people die and most people take birth. Not most people, sorry, all people. Okay? So all people take birth and all people die. This is the thing that we should remember. Rest in between whatever happens, it's not something which is a hard and fast rule. But it is made hard and fast rule by the people who want to control the planet. Okay? So why was the institution of marriage created first of all? Institution of marriage or engagement was not created because, it means that it has to happen in a certain way. It has to be like this. The marriage has to be like this. The vows has to be like this. Because there are different religions and different religions have different style of getting married, In the Hindu religion, people wear white only when a death has occurred. Or white is sometimes also seen as a symbol of purity. So widows use white clothes a lot, or a monk would wear white clothes most of the times. Somebody who is quite spiritual in the ritualistic way also, you can say, they also like to wear the color white. Okay, it's not easy to manage that color, but people prefer to wear that. Keeps them in some kind of exercise also because they have to regularly wash and clean and be very careful of how they are sitting and where they are. That is also a reason why a lot of people, monks and all, they wear white, because white color is like, it sorts of puts you into discipline. When you wear white color, you have to be careful where you are sitting, where you're going, where you're lying down, because it gets dirty faster. That is the quality of white, okay? And there are many types of white colors also which don't get affected. Like you see the white in lily, you see the white in flowers. It doesn't get affected by dirt or anything, right? Because that's how nature has created white. The natural white doesn't get polluted that easily. Like moon, its purity is its purity. It's only when people dress up, the clothing and all, that's where the problem is. So this same dress, which is considered to be something which after death you wear it, or when somebody has died, then all people, they dress up in white and they go to meet that person, family members or whatever. But in a Christian culture, you will see that they wear white during weddings. White is a color of, like their happiness in the marriages is the woman, the bride wears completely white gown and things like that. And when somebody dies, at that time they wear black, And in the Muslim culture, the Islamic culture, you see women wearing black to cover themselves. Whenever they wear a burqa, the burqa is black in color. No other color is seen, mostly only black is seen. So different things, one thing may fit in one union, one cultural union, and the other one may not fit. These are just small things, but they also sort of make us realize that there are so many different people in the planet. And I've just given a small example. There may be so many examples like this. Black is something that Western society wears when someone has died. Okay. But the same black color is being used by women when they are stepping outside every day in regular day work also. Inside their burqa, they would probably wear their regular clothes, fancy clothes. But when they are going outside somewhere, only for the outside space, they will wear it. So nowadays culture is changing. Nowadays the new generation that is coming, personally I know few of them, they don't like to cover their body like that. They say that, I want to dress up according to my wish and will. And there are some who are also following it, and they are preaching others for it, that you should do it, it's your culture, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's culture is evolving and developing with time. And there are changes that happen. In Hindu culture also, one is Sanatan Dharam and one is Hinduism. They are two different things. Sanatan Dharam and Hinduism is separate, because Hinduism is like everything included in Hinduism. Okay. So this concept of getting married in front of the fire and taking 7 vows for the whole life, this is supposed to be a very pure ceremony at one time. At one time, when a man and a woman are sitting in front of the fire and making those vows, they are very sure of those vows, and that's why they are making those vows. Okay. Because marriage back in those days, when the yugas are in the higher frequency, at that time marriage is not a forced option. It's like nobody forces people as such. Somebody wants to do it, they do it. If someone doesn't want to do it, they don't do it. The option is always available. And they say if you are a householder, if you are a person who is going to live in the worldly world, then you should have a companion who can help you out, who can be with you. You can kill time with that person. This is what happens now. Then to kill time, you make the babies, and then it becomes an added responsibility. So times are changing. Back then also times changed. They were never the same. These things are never the same. In the spiritual age, which is the golden age, these things are absolutely different. They are seen differently. By the time Treta comes, it changes. That to descending Treta. Okay? Which is your silver age. Then bronze age comes, which is Dwapar. And then finally dark ages come. So in the dark ages, things become really difficult for some people. Especially if you have a spiritual mindset, if you have an awakening going on, then whatever is happening in the dark age will really bother you. It will really trigger you. And that's why they say that those people who get this salvation or enlightenment or pure bliss before the dark ages, then it's very good for them. So all those people who are born in the 80s, it is till 2000 the dark ages were there. So many people felt a huge shift in the year 2000. Even if they were teenagers or they were young or whatever, doesn't matter. Some of them may be born like literally at the end of 80s or the beginning of 90s. Okay. Some of them were born in 70s, 60s, 80s, exact 80s also. So it was after you can say, before 85, after 81, 82, I would say, the twin flame started pouring in, because I'll tell you the reason, the scientific reason and the spiritual reason behind it. Scientifically also and spiritually also, when the eras are changing. The dark ages ended completely in 2000. Now how is this connected to you all? How is it connected to the masculine and the feminine energies and whatever is happening in this current dimension and age? Because the energies have been shifting, by the time 2020 came in, a lot of people actually figured things out in a big way. It took them maybe 2 years, like 2020, 2021, the whole year, then 2022 is going on. there is a there is a intuition, you can say, that 2022 is going to be full on war for some people. It's like they were prepared for all the difficult things, or you can say everything will get a closure in 2022. For the spiritual warriors, everything will get complete closure in 2022. They will be in a better space. Those who are basically coaching right now, or those who are not in those energies, they have surpassed those energies. Maybe that happened to them in 2020 and 2021. So 2020 was the war period for them, and they were getting prepared in 18, 17, 19 was their preparation ground. Okay. So why that is happening is because this time frame that you're in, it marks the beginning of a new era, of a new time. So whenever new time happens, these type of twin flames especially, they are born specifically because they are free souls. All twin flames are free souls. They don't have these taboos or labels or fear-based way of loving other people. They don't have that. That's why they are givers also. Love is not about taking. Love is about whole soul giving. When you are in love, when you say you are in love, you never ask for anything in return. That is the right way of loving people. Don't ask for anything in return. And if you love someone, don't expect anything. Like how people say, I love you, so you should do this for me. I love you, so you should listen to me. I love you, so you should be with me. Don't they say these things? You should understand my feelings because I love you. You should take care of me because I love you. So they are loving someone, but they have a because and they have an expectation attached to it. So this is something which the twin flame needs to figure out, because they are born free. They were born free. But the programming happened, the conditioning of the mind happened, all of the karmic entanglements happened. So they are not in the twin flame journey since 2020 or 2018 or 2010 or 29 or 22. 2002 or beginning of the ascending Dwapar, that is 2000. They are in this journey since childhood. Okay, for them it's happening since then. Since they are born, they are twin flames, so they have to work accordingly. Okay, so now when you have a divine counterpart situation happening with you, first of all you need to understand that if you are attracting a divine counterpart, it means you need to become divine as well. Your expectation of attracting a divine person is okay. It's good to have that expectation. But you cannot attract something that you're not. So it also gives you one more understanding that if you're attracting something, whatever it is, as long as you're going to see things as bad and good, you are going to keep attracting bad and good. Please remember that. As long as you're going to think like that, as long as you're going to think this is toxic or this is non-toxic. Okay. To use in communication, it's okay. Sometimes you're communicating and you say, yeah, that's toxic or this is toxic or whatever. But if in your life you feel that you're constantly attracting toxic people, toxic lovers, your family members are toxic, everyone is toxic, then that means that there is some kind of match. You are giving it an energy match from within you. Okay? So you need to just accept people as they are. People could be good, people could be bad. Okay? People could be whatever. It is our perception that makes them good or bad. If we start looking at them as, they are okay, whatever it is, and you work it around. Sometimes you need to do things for certain people because it is your ecosystem as well, and you want to maintain peace in your ecosystem. So sometimes you like to do things. You like to, be nice to people. People come up to you with a problem. It's not necessary that you always fight it out. Sometimes it's necessary to be kind, Be kind and be accepting, be friendly. But don't overdo it. So you should know how much to do and how much to not do. Okay? So all these things will naturally happen to you. It's like if a tree is in the rain, okay? It's in the thunder, it's in the rain, it's in the hot weather, or it's in the cold weather. the tree's natural instinct will figure out how to adapt and what to do. It is within the tree itself. Similarly, you as a natural being who is also made from 5 elements, you also need to learn how to adapt to situations. So coming to the masculine here, what he is saying is, first of all, he is sort of, he's also going through some changes because the person that he is mirroring, he or she, it's not gender specific, he or she, whosoever is mirroring the twin flame, when they mirror the twin flame, first they are at a certain point and they are very confident. That's how they are able to hurt the twin flame, no? Because they are so confident. They're so confident in their opinions, in their thought process, that they are like, you know what, I know this for a fact and I'm right and this person is wrong and this person is useless or this person is bad or whatever for me. So they just walk away, and this should give the twin flame a soul shock. Technically, it should get a soul shock and it should start working on itself. The soul should start working on itself immediately. But that's not how it happens. They take time to figure out. First, they go through a dark night of the soul. First, they learn to figure out the dark night of the soul. What the hell is this dark night of the soul? So for any feminine, if she is not accepting the masculine right now 100%, it's because she wants him to be worthy, because he also needs to know what is a dark night of the soul. He also needs to know, what is this whole matter of worthiness, because it's a lifelong thing. Commitment is not something that you give right now and then you forget about it. When you commit to anything, a project, a business, a goal, a relationship, anything, you are committing for a whole life till whenever. So you got to be very careful when you make that commitment. Some people just make commitments, like as if it's a snack for them. Eating snacks, so easy, make commitment. But they don't live up to that commitment. And later on in life, they live in guilt and shame, which they don't understand when they're walking out. So this guilt and shame, this is what eats up the masculine. But it will not eat up the masculine till the time the feminine does not get out of the waiting energies. The waiting energy, that is the big problem. If you are waiting for someone, that means there is no movement happening in your journey. Okay? So now what he is saying is, we'll come to that later on in part 3. Now let's just listen to the lines that he is saying to her. What he's saying is that you look at me like you don't even remember me anymore. When you see me, you're not the same towards me. There was a time when, you knew me, you could talk to me, you could be yourself with me. But now you look at my face in such a way that I'm not the recognized person that I used to be. So she looks at him and she's like, really? Like seriously, you are asking me this question? You were not here for such a long time. This is for those people who had a long separation, long physical separation. You were not here for such a long time and suddenly you come back to me and you expect me to act as if nothing has happened. Like, are you really in your right mind, right frame of mind? You are having some huge demands right now, my dear. You were not here. You don't know what I did when I was alone. You don't know what all I learned when I was alone. You don't know how I learned to take care of myself. You don't know how much independent I have become. So I don't understand, why are you even expecting this? This is a funny expectation. Now those who were not in a complete separation, like they were in talking terms, they could have been in talking terms, or even those people who were living almost together but they were still going to a separation. They asked the similar questions, that where were you all this while? 2 years, 3 years, we didn't have a proper real relationship. You were in your own world, I was in my own world. Do you realize how difficult it was for me when you left? Now she is saying all this because she is in 50% energies right now. And I'm not going to talk about 100% energies in this channeling because I don't want you to get confused. Whosoever is resonating with it, it's good. You should, because this is also part of the progress only, So he's saying that, okay, fine. Now what you want to do? You're just gonna come here, suddenly you're gonna pop into my life, and then, just like, you go to a swimming pool, you just take a splash and you leave. You're like that. I am still here swimming, you're just taking a splash and leaving. So the feminine is trying to tell him that he needs to do this all by himself now. She cannot handhold him, because now she has learned a lot. At least she has started figuring out her finances. There was time when she could not even figure out her own finances, her work. She did not know what she loved. She did not know what to put her love in. Sometimes she was working, but because it was just paying the bills. Now she's like, paying the bills is good, but I also need to do something out of it. In everything I do, I should do karma yoga. In everything I do, I should make it mission related. So how do I make it better? And she did not take anyone's help. She's not taking anyone's help. Okay. Maybe with the masculine, in some cases, I would say there is an expectation that, he should do this for me, he should do that for me. And he doesn't do it. That's the problem. He will commit. So when you accept the masculine, when he's at 50% growth progress stage, then what he will do is he will make the commitment, but he will not live up to it. Again, he will do the similar things. He will not do it in a great extent, but he will still do it. He will still do some drama, So you need to be very sure, you don't have to be scared. If you think that this person is not worthy for you and your mission, then you have to drop them right now, or you have to not give them so much importance. Right now, he's like, yeah, you are the one who's the queen of my heart. You are the one who's the queen of my dreams. You are the one who rules my dreams, because he's seeing a lot of her dreams only, He sees her in many dreams. So he's kind of shocked, like, I keep seeing her in my dreams, and she's like a changed person. When she looks at the feminine, when they were dating or when they started out, maybe she was at a different weight, or she was at a different size, maybe different hairstyle or whatever. With time, things have changed. So now he's like, am I with the same person? So much has changed about this person, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, everything, the way she talks, the way she walks. She's still the same, but she's not the same, But she's the same person who keeps recurring in my dreams. So he says to her, you are the queen of my dreams. Even in my dream world, you are the ruling person. Okay. And maybe we have not been so close because he's considering that separation phrase, or the time when he was not sure about her. So he also feels that she has not seen the best of me. She saw me, she got to know me, she liked me a lot back then. But she has not seen the best of me. I was not even at my best behavior back then. Even he knows that. Most of the masculines, or most of the people with masculine energy, be it men or women, they know that this person has not seen the best side of me yet. What I was showing to them was not the best of me. That was also me being very selfish and opportunist. Big time. Some of them just wanted to get into the pants of the girl, or some of them just wanted to hang out. Even in marriage, there are people who marry because they have a certain barter deal going on. They have some system, some fulfillment is happening. So once the fulfillment happens, maybe they get the visa, or maybe they get some shares, or maybe get something, I don't know. Maybe they just want the label of marriage. There are so many karmic marriages that happen because of that only. Because both the parties, they just want a label that, yes, now I'm married to someone. Because the marriage label is so important for some people. In some countries, it's marriage. In some countries, it's engagement. In some countries, it's relationship. It differs from places to places also. Even in India, I would say, in metro cities, it's very different. In metro cities, you see people in live-in relationships. Very common to see people in living relationships. Every housing society would have few couples who are in live-in relationship. Few are married, but they're not living with their families. They don't want to have children. They are just, with each other. They had the ceremony and all that, and now they don't want to live with others also. They don't want to live with their own parents, be it the guy's side or be it the girl's side, So all of those things are there as well. different types of relationships are happening. If you go to Bangalore, I'm just talking about India, I'm sure in America also, New York is different, New York City is different, San Francisco would be different. What the DM and DF discuss later on after this point has been shared, because there are basically 3 separate conversations that they have. One is that I did in the part 1. Second one is this one where he is like questioning her, and he could be selfish right now. He is being a little selfish and demanding, but he doesn't see that as a problem. And she does see that as a problem, and she's telling him that no, you need to be this way or that way. Or maybe he says something very like totally against her morals or totally against her mission. Now he could be, like totally madly deeply in love with her. So when the masculine is very loving, very affectionate, he's doing all the cute things for her, making calls, messaging, and this could also be happening in the harmonization phase, that they could be like happy with each other, everything seems to be fine. But one fine day he does something, or he says something, he makes a step which is completely in opposite direction of the mission of the twin flame. The twin flame mission does not match up with it. Now it is the awakened person, the more awakened person, who has to take a step on this, or who has to take a serious step on this, that this is not acceptable. Because masculine, the male, whosoever is in the, I want to make money, I want to earn, I want to do business, if that is his mentality, and he could be doing some ghastly business thing, which could be harming the nature beings or the animals in some way. And he doesn't understand that right now. He doesn't understand because he's not in the fully awakened energies. He's in the awakening energies. So he wants the feminine. He's doing all the right things for the feminine. But then certain things are not acceptable by her because she's already in the mission, Why I say despite being in the mission, sometimes she's 50% is because she's not fully confident. She gets scared easily. She's still working on herself. There's a deep work that happens, a deep mental work, emotional work that happens. And once a person gets into that frame of mind, then they are completely different. There is no dearth of lovers. Let me be honest with you. There will be so many lovers around you after a point. You can pick and choose. But you don't want to do that either. You're like, why should I? For me, only one mirror is more than enough. I don't need so many hundreds of mirrors. So when you see someone who is affectionate towards you, you see it like a one love situation, that they are affectionate towards me and that's it. You may even enjoy their attention, but later on, as the higher and higher you go, you don't feel the need of getting that attention also, because you have so much of your own attention. So you get little disturbed by that attention if it's not welcoming, if it's not coming from the right space of of your heart. So you can even tell people at that time, that I'm not interested in something like this. You don't have to do this. So these are just examples, guys. I'm just sharing with you. You don't have to compare your life with the other people. That's what I'm saying, the 3D people. And this, the more awakened person has to understand better. So in the next part, in the upcoming part, I shall discuss with you what is the third most important, third thing he says to her. And for your personal situation, you can check out the description box. You can book a therapy and do inner work with me. And you can take personal reading and just ask some questions related to your journey. The questions are answered with the help of intuitive reading and tarot. And there are different types of reading. It's up to you, whichever you want to take. It's up to you, whichever therapy you are considering. You may be wanting to release the karmic, the third party blocks. You may be wanting to, release the anger you have for your twin flame, the counterpart, the mirror, because you feel that you have love for them, but because of the past, you're not able to let go of the past. The anger is still there, It's making things bad for you. Even the communication is not happening properly because of that. Because something or the other comes up in your head, something he or she did in the past, and you can't let it go. And of course, the most important is chakra therapy. Till the time your chakras are not aligned with you, you cannot get energy. You can't get energy, you can't do anything, you can't ascend. You will continue to be in waiting energies till the time you don't get aligned to your chakra. So this is the most recommended therapy of mine. Just only one thing is that kindly do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me. You can share that later on whenever the right time comes. I'll keep asking questions and it will naturally, organically happen. Okay. So thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out, and see you in part 3.